Hello friends, this is David Killian coming to you from the river bottom under a tree that with Ventura Wild we sometimes would hang out under. I'm going to read the book Eliza and the Dragonfly by Susie Caldwell Reinhardt, illustrated by Anissa Claire Hubman. There's a dragonfly in my house. It flew in the window and I landed on my toothbrush. I have to tell Aunt Doris. My Aunt Doris loves bugs, and spiders, and bees, and ants. She uses words like magnificent when she sees things that sting and soar. Aunt Doris is an entomologist. That's somebody who studies insects. She loves to go to the pond near my house to watch bugs. Magnificent, Aunt Doris says when she sees the dragonfly in my house. This one belongs at the pond, so I hop on my bike and Aunt Doris hops on her bugsicle, and we ride to the pond. The dragonfly holds on tightly. I carry it like it is the most precious gift in the world. A great white egret wades silently through the lilies. Aunt Doris walks along the water's edge, holding her net high like a kite. Dragonflies zoom faster than birds over the smooth surface of the pond. My toothbrush dragonfly rushes to join them. I make a wish on every dragonfly I see. I wish I could fly as fast as a dragonfly. I wish I could ride my bike anywhere I wanted. I wish it didn't take so long to grow up. Kerploosh! Aunt Doris slips and falls in the pond. The great white egret pumps her wings and flies away. A frog hops out of Aunt Doris's pocket. Fish and leaves drip from her hair. But Aunt Doris doesn't mind. She never minds what she looks like. That's what I like about Aunt Doris. Then an awful green creature, the size of a paperclip, swims out of her boot. She scoops it into her hand. Ew, I say. Magnificent, Aunt Doris says. What is it? I ask. It's a young dragonfly, Eliza, a nymph. Aunt Doris says as she lets the creature go. What's a dragonfly doing underwater? Dragonflies begin their lives in water. When they're young, they breathe water instead of air, and they swim instead of fly. Let's make a water scope, and you can see for yourself. Aunt Doris digs into her backpack and finds an empty juice container. She cuts off the top and the bottom. Then she takes the clean plastic wrap off her sandwich and spreads it over one end of the container. A big rubber band holds the plastic wrap in place. Ta-da! A water scope. Aunt Doris shows me how to look through the scope underwater. Wow, there's an amazing wiggling world down here, I gasp. Can you see the dragonfly nymph? I think so, but it doesn't look like a dragonfly. Where are its wings, I wonder? Look closer, Aunt Doris says. I see 4 tiny wings, like flower petals folded on a dragon's back. When will it know how to fly, I ask. Eliza, Aunt Doris smiles. A dragonfly nymph doesn't worry about when it will grow up and become a dragonfly. It doesn't wish it could fly or be more beautiful than it already is. It just mucks about in the pond, being itself. Then it wakes up one morning with wings. So every day after school, Aunt Doris and I go to the pond. We take turns looking through the water scope to find the dragonfly nymph. Aunt Doris wants to name it Bo because she thinks it's beautiful. I think it looks more like a Horace. I wish I could see Horace hatch into a dragonfly. I wish I could watch Horace crawl up a long blade of grass, the way Aunt Doris says he will, unfold his wings and fly away. For now, he lies there still in the shallow water. Horace doesn't know how to fly. Horace has a gift, a lower lip 5 times the size of his head with giant hooks on the end. It tucks away neatly until a small insect swims by. Then it's dinner time. Ew, I say. Magnificent, says Aunt Doris. Sometimes I bring my colored pencils and paper to the pond and draw Horace. He looks at me with half a smile on his face. I tell Horace that soon he'll be able to breathe air instead of water. I tell him that soon he'll be able to fly faster than a swallow. And I tell him other things too, like how I wish I was taller and had straight blonde hair, and how I wish I could paint beautiful pictures that the whole world would come to see. Horace stares at me like he is trying to tell me something, but Horace still doesn't know how to fly. Sometimes my friends Carlos and Annie come to the pond with me after school. Horace loves an audience. He glides around on the bottom of the pond as if he were dancing. Cha-cha-cha, Horace. Carlos is teaching Horace to speak Spanish. Horace's eyes grow wide and it looks like he is listening really hard. Hola, Horace. Annie takes out her recorder and plays Horace a tune. Do, re, mi, Horace. But Horace still doesn't know how to fly. I'll bet he wishes he could fly, Annie says. Horace doesn't wish he could fly or be more beautiful than he already is, I say. Aunt Doris smiles. Oh no, Horace is gone, Carlos says when he lowers the scope into the water. Gone? Let me look, I say. Through the water scope I see pollywogs and fish, but no Horace. I move the scope up and down and back and forth. Still no Horace. Aunt Doris, where is he? Here he is, Aunt Doris waves us over excitedly, on a tall plant stem rising out of the water. Horace climbs out of the pond for the first time. What's happening? Asks Eliza. Horace is going to hatch, Aunt Doris whispers. We all lie down in the grass to watch. At first, nothing happens. The wind swings the stem back and forth. Horace holds on like it is the only solid thing in the world. Then he takes his first breath of air. It moves through his body and cracks his shell open. Slowly, so slowly, Horace slides out of his shell like he is slipping out of a sleeping bag. First his eyes appear, then his slender body, and finally his wings. I hold my breath. He does not move. Horace's wings lie wrinkled across his back. Is he okay? I ask. Don't worry, he's pumping up and drying his wings. When it's time, he'll zoom away to eat bugs for dinner, Aunt Doris says. Ew, Carlos says. Then the sun touches Horace's eyes and we see that they are a brilliant green. The sun touches Horace's soft, wet wings and they glow like they are made of tiny stained glass windows. Magnificent, Aunt Doris says. Ouch! Carlos slaps his neck and shouts, Mosquitoes! There are mosquitoes everywhere. They bite my ankles, they bite my arms, and they bite the soft places behind my knees. Carlos spins around in circles, then falls down dizzy. Annie flaps her arms like she is trying to fly away. I shake my whole body like a wet dog, but the mosquitoes keep whining and buzzing. Suddenly, the buzzing stops. It is very quiet. No mosquitoes bite my knees. No mosquitoes bite my neck. There are hardly any mosquitoes at all. What do you think happened? Look, Carlos and Annie say at the same time. A liquid blue dragonfly with stained glass wings silences the pond. One mosquito at a time. Horace, Aunt Doris says. Magnificent, I say. And that's the end. And there's a whole resource at the end of the book talking about learning about the life cycle of dragonflies and other insects. Thanks for letting me share this story with you.